Hi Leo, welcome to August. Happy Leo season, happy birthday. And okay, let's talk about this bizarro social competitive energy. Regardless of what type of relationship you encounter as you move about the world right now, Leo, the one thing that every dynamic seems to have in common, to a lesser or greater degree, depends on the relationship, but every interaction feels like a competition, to the point where you are actively seeking out people who let you shine, and you're finding refuge there, but you're also terrified because you're realizing there's like 2 people, 1 person, 3 people, like the number is very small. And everybody else is taking you feeling like this as an invitation to the games, or an insult, or as a personal dig. You know that thing where you get dressed up to go somewhere and you look really nice, mashallah, and then people take it personally that you look nice? Okay, it's that situation, which you've obviously been in over and over again. It's that situation, but like in every interaction that you're having, regardless of if it's romantic or family, or it doesn't matter. You're just facing that moment, that awkward moment again and again, where you feel like bad that you feel great. And then you're getting this weird energy and you're completely confused as to why, because you're just feeling so good. But the way it's making others take stock and then sort of put the blame on you if they fall short is really strange, but it's happening, and it's happening with everybody around you. You may even feel it in a romantic sense, but most of all, I think it will be when you're out in social settings, whether it's family or friends or just strangers. And like I said, one of the most jarring realizations you have at this time is how few people you actually have around you that you can be your full, fiery, strong self around, and you don't alienate them, and you don't somehow turn your good times into an indictment of how they're living their life. It's so strange that people do it, but when you watch it happen to Leos over and over again, after a while you begin to hear the music of it, You're like, oh, I know this song. It's just wins. It's wins all across the board right now. Let me just show you. It's just wins. And you know what it's like when you're feeling like this, and instead of someone stating the very obvious and just addressing the fact that you're obviously doing incredible, mashallah, they say nothing. And the more August does its thing with you and we move into September, and the more power you gain, the more refinement, because you're on that refinement track now. You have picked up steam. The fire is there. Perfect time of year. You did it. You got there. You feel good. You're on the, you're happily on your way. Truth be told, most of the competitiveness of August goes right over your head, as it should, because you can't compete what you can't compare. But from an outside perspective, all they're seeing are these major wins, and the wins are real. It's just that these wins have a tendency to dehumanize you in a way you're used to, but perhaps not to this scale. Okay, so let's get into some of my notes here. Now, one of the reasons for this overwhelming good luck and just very positive, optimistic feeling about yourself, about your abilities, about the world, and how it's going to receive you, is this Jupiter in Gemini energy. It just creates a sort of enriched soil. Now you're on fertile ground, right? So for the next year or so, your business ideas, your sales capabilities, your ability to communicate, anything that is going to involve a person on the other end begins to flourish. But nothing can grow if you plant nothing. So it's also a time in August where you may want to push yourself a little out of that procrastination space and out of your fixed energy. You know how you can be, it's comfortable, but it also leads to disappointment when you look back and you think, oh, if I had just done this thing at this time, I could still do that thing now, but the time has passed. So one of the most important tools of rhetoric is knowing when to say something. The timing is very important. And I think one of the ways that astrology benefits someone that has a Leo's disposition best is by giving you access to that timing so you can keep going on these very fixed, solid goals that you create for yourself. It just gives you, it fills in the gaps for you, like, okay, from this to this time, don't focus here, sort of thing. So when it comes to August into September, the competitiveness, the pettiness, the weirdness that you may be feeling off of people, it's all to distract you from the simple fact that you can pretty much plant anything and make it grow right now. Alhamdulillah, it's a great time for you. So you should not be thinking about anybody else in the least. You should just be focusing on yourself and bringing your ideas together and doing the most you can with those ideas in the next 2 months. That should be your focus. And in terms of that focus, when you have to deal with people, are you going to come across their reactions of just being overwhelmed with where you're at in life? Yeah. And hopefully you deal with them with an enormous amount of grace, and you bring from your side the understanding that it is sort of jarring for people to see beauty and optimism and positivity and success all kind of wrapped up in one person. Normally, and I think you know this better than most, people prefer to be a bit melancholic, a bit sad. It gives them a great justification for wherever they're at in life. But you are beginning to see through the people in your life that are like this. You can see behind the mediocrity to what's really holding them back. I think for a long time you've let people around you kind of just float, because if that's what they want to do and that's how they feel, then that's great for them. But your ability to see through things has become much more keen. So even though you don't mean to use that sight on the people around you that you care about, you can't help but see them with this new eyesight that you have, or what we call nazar that you have, right? And when you look at people with this new mindset, with these new eyes, what you're seeing is all the stuff overloading behind them that they're just unconscious of and yet guarding so doggedly, and it's keeping them small. So their competition, you realize sometime in late August, has nothing to do with you. Their competition has nothing to do with this fiery, lucky streak that you're on. Their competitiveness and pettiness and the aggression that it breeds has nothing to do with your good luck. It has nothing to do with your optimism. It simply has everything to do with their unconscious beliefs, their back brain being filled with so much that is directly in opposition to how you have either reprogrammed yourself or how you were brought up, whatever it is. Or if it's just this, let's say it's the intrinsic, Leo-ness of it all. You figure out on a fundamental level, August into September, that people are just shadow boxing themselves that really has nothing to do with you at all. And the best thing that you can do for people is leave them exactly where they are and take your healthy programming, evolving programming, being worked on programming, in the shop programming, and move along with this fiery positive energy and this Jupiterian boost and do what you need to do. It is truly a time to leave behind the people who are just never going to grow. I think you do this every 10 years. Is it me? Because they're just not going to do anything. And then it's like, what's up, big money? You know, do you want to be big money? You don't. Okay. All right. Who wants to do that? Okay. Now, the cool thing about single Leos right now is that Venus is in Leo, so you have a great shot at just getting a lot of attention. Just if you want it, go outside. But also, you can meet someone who's really into their personal growth and finds it really attractive that you're into yours. Just make sure you actually like them and aren't just excited by the project. Okay. No. Just for those of you who are like, what project? I don't do projects. Project. Okay. So, it's so easy for the people in your social circles to misinterpret your enthusiasm, your success, your fire right now. And I love it because I love when people are irritated by your glow up. But it's like, you got to give them a little bit of credit because they're like, what kind of fucking glow up is this? You're already glowed up. How much more glowed up are you planning on getting? And how am I supposed to keep up? And like, what is your problem? Thanks. Answer them in sequential order, just like that, like I asked them. And, you know, what can one say to a Leo about being the bane of some rando's existence that they don't even know about, who's now feeling like they have are in some competition with you, and they can't even figure out what serum you're using? As if they could ever. You know, but is that the way to deal with it? No, don't deal with it that way. Instead, be what my friend David Regal lovingly calls the gracious host. Your life is your party, every day is your event, and you are the gracious host of said event. Look gorgeous, act gorgeous, talk gorgeous, smile gorgeous. The more miffed they are, the more nastily they behave, the more you should lean into it. Why? Why should you do this? Mars is in Gemini, by the way. You should do this because you get one chance a year to play it big. And the fact that this is the chance that people have taken to like take your shine personally and misinterpret you just feeling yourself is crazy. And it shouldn't stop you. Oh, now that it's Leo season, all of a sudden people want to take it personally that you play it big. No, this sounds weird to me. And you know what? If you focus on these people and trying to make them happy, there's literally nothing there. Because who can make these people happy? If someone is upset by the fact that you are doing well, living life, looking good, doing whatever you're doing, if someone is upset by that, they deserve to be upset by that. You should leave them right there where you found them. You, on the other hand, have a lot of work to do, right? So many good ideas, so much potential, feeling so good, able to handle it all, able to do it all. Please do something with that. Please do something with that. Please turn that into a business or some money. Please do that, because you know what? The way your 11th house is set up right now, that love will find you wherever you're at making that money. It will. This is a happy byproduct of you just going and doing the things you love to do and making the monies. Okay? Do not fight or explain or try to make feel better or advise or do anything with these people. These people will spend your entire month forcing you to play it small. Are you gonna wear that? Because I was gonna wear this. Oh, are you gonna do your makeup before we go out? Because I was just gonna go like this. All right. This is the perfect opportunity to just cancel these people. Please do it. You'll be so happy for it. Also, you have to do it because you need to prioritize like who actually gets time with you. You need to prioritize, like Jupiter in Gemini is asking you to please call your circle and your energetic, group, because it's trying to bring you so much good stuff, so much good luck, so much, especially with this Jupiter and Gemini energy. It's so friendly. It's so financially successful. Like we just don't need anybody getting on this private jet with you who you wouldn't trust with your life. It's that level of success. You just don't want these people around. And it doesn't matter if they're romantic partners. Most of this to me doesn't look like it has anything to do with romance. This is all just people around you. Could also be like a hater, lover or two. But this is just all people around you who might have even been kind of getting off on the fact that you were, going through it. They did not see this glow up coming. They don't know where it came from. They don't know why it's happening now. It feels sudden. It feels like such a change. It feels like they don't know how to catch up. They don't know how to pick it apart, like they do with everything with you. Pick it apart and try to diminish each piece so then they can put the thing back together as a whole and be like, oh, it's not even that special. That thing, they can't do it. Because this glow up is complete. This is Empress, Nine of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Magician. Like, it's like, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I know exactly how I want to look when I do it. And you need to just stay out of my way. So, of course, the only way that people can rope you into their bullshit now is to be like, oh my God, you winning is hurting my feelings so bad. I had someone say to me a few months ago, every time I see you, my self-esteem drops through the floor. And I was like, what the fuck kind of weird shit is that to say? Like, if your self-esteem is determined by whatever the fuck I have going on in my life that day, you need some help. Like, these people need help. So, remember that, okay? You have the ability to charm a lot of people. It's obvious that people are, there's this really just profound halo effect going on with you right now. And yet, I don't think that you really want all these fans, per se. And now let's talk to the cross watchers, which I'm sure there are a lot of you. So welcome. If you're watching because you're in love with a Leo, you have a situationship with a Leo, you would like a Leo to text you back, a Leo won't call you, whatever's going on with you, or you're happy with the Leo and you just want to see how they're going to be doing in the next few weeks. Hello. All right, here we go. Now, this is my beach look, okay? Everybody relax. All right, so, cross watchers. It may seem from the outside that this person, they have it all together. They got it all. But the thing you'd be missing is the thing that they really want, which is personal connection. Sure, the halo effect is nice, and watching people fall all over themselves to help you, talk to you, get you stuff, give you stuff. It's wonderful. Pretty privilege at its finest. And yet, it's not at all what Leo wants. In fact, it's just what happens to Leo. It's something that they have grown to expect. What they want is connection. Deep connection, real connection. Someone that they can pour their everything into, and that person will pour everything into them. If you are incapable of that level of emotional commitment and fidelity, sooner or later you're going to get locked in a cage with a lion who is not happy with you. And it will hurt real bad. Your ego, in fact, might not survive the clawing. So if you're wondering about a Leo and they're not really being receptive, perhaps step back and think about why you want to connect with them. Is it because you're also suffering from that halo effect and you just want to be around something beautiful? Or do you care for this person? Do you know what they're really like? Have you ever really thought about them? Have you taken the time to know even a little bit about them? Because it's going to take a while. Leos are very private. If you haven't done these things, if you haven't, just being honest with yourself, if you haven't really done the things needed or taken the steps to become more intimate or close on a personal level with a Leo, wanting their body, needing their body, lusting after them, their face, their body, whatever, all it's going to do is ick them out. Right now, their pain is their loneliness. And they're okay with glowing brighter and brighter and enduring their loneliness if it means that they keep themselves from a false connection. So if you have any intentions of being a false connection, run. It's not going to work out. But if you are true, then sit down and be honest with yourself about what you've done so far and what you need to do moving forward to even get to know that Leo a little bit. I assure you they will be moved by it because they don't usually get it. Okay? Good. Now I switched my notes over to my computer. We have a lot more to talk about just in terms of relationships, and then we have career and money, mental and physical health, and some general notes, like just like an outro that I've put together. So first of all, let's do the preview of the extended, where you can see the cards laid out and you can get some sense of what we'll be speaking about in the extended, and then we'll take it from there. If you would like to view the extended in its entirety, it will be available below through Patreon as a single purchase. If your particular location doesn't allow Patreon subscriptions, you can use that option. There's also a Patreon subscription. There's also a Vimeo link and a PayPal link that sends the video straight to your inbox. There's also a link for personal readings below, and those look like this. And you can ask me anything. There's even like a business option on there for like shout outs and stuff and birthdays and stuff like that. All right. Those of you who have expressed an interest in the self-esteem course, that will be available on Patreon in the coming weeks, inshallah. Very excited about that. It's a series of video lectures, and I will be posting the breakdown of the modules on Instagram when we get there. Okay, I love you. I'll see you in the preview. Happy birthday. Hi, Leah. Welcome to your preview of the extended. So you heard what I said to the cross watchers. Now let me give you a little insight from your end about that. When you come upon a time where your charm is just effusive. It can be easy to phone it in. Sure, I can tell the cross-watchers that you want a deep connection, that you only thrive from deep connections. And it would be true. But isn't it also true that sometimes, instead of doing the work of creating a deeper connection, it's just easier to charm someone into caring about you? Now, the reason I bring this up is because you can make that same mistake again now if you want to. Your charm is unstoppable, mashallah, right now. You have Venus in your sign. You're crushing it. And I think you know it. Mashallah, it's great. But look back on your life, and for some of you, you're living out the consequences of recently having done this. What happens down the line when you phone it in and you let your charm cover up your codependency, or you let your charm sweeten your codependency, mask it, sweeten it? What happens when the mask slips? See, if you got to know someone, and if you gave them a chance to get to know you, and you didn't push the beauty, the charm, the persuasion into hyperdrive, anytime you decide that you want that mask to slip and you just want to be human for a little while, the person you're with will have no issue because they got to know you. But when you jump the gun, this is what I like, this is what I want, I know already, let me put the moves on him. On him, on her, on them, on they, and all the rest of us. What you're doing is you're acknowledging the fact that you can get somebody to override their logic simply by how compelling you are. And although that is a flex, you don't want somebody to forgo their logic to be with you. What that sounds like is as soon as they come to their senses, they'll be gone. You want someone to love you with their senses intact. You want your halo effect, your beauty, and your charm to be the sort of bonus that anyone would die for. But it is not substantive. Substance and substantial connections, the kind that you crave, they can't be hurried into. So when you have those moments in the next 2 months where you can see true potential, think about the last time you rushed into something and how what on paper looked like was going to be perfect turned out the way it did. Why? Simply because nobody wants to tell you no. But that doesn't always mean they're telling you the truth. And that is a very important distinction. Good? Good. I love you so mucho. Coming back with the extended. And we're going to do some shuffling over here. Love you, love you. The links are below.